Athletics. I am your host, Dr. Maury Mosovitz, with my all-time most favorite, most wonderful, most special co-host of all times, Jen Albanese. Hey, Jen.
Hi, Maury. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. Another one. Here we go.
Yes. Jackie Calla. I'm so excited. Love her. I got to really get to know her.
You are so excited about this one.
I know.
You're so excited about this one.
I really got to know Jackie through her time at the tennis program, and just wonderful person. Getting
So
opportunity
sweet.
to be a head coach, which is great, and just has a lot of great information to share. I think, all different levels of coaches will be able to benefit from her. She is a new head coach, but she's got some great ideas. So I know that people will appreciate it, but yeah,
she's great. She's awesome. And we're happy for her. And, tennis is just such a fun, obviously you have the connection with tennis as a
love
sport
tennis.
Admin, so
love it.
I know. I do.
Take my kids, show them the doubles. We got the doubles, and we explain singles, and I love having to explain the different lines and if it's in and if it's out. And, I'll even click on TV and see some pro matches, which is fun.
Oh, so exciting. Obviously, like the big ones, the US Open and Wimbledon are obviously like the coolest ones. And I got to go to actual Wimbledon, not the tournament, and see any of the actual tennis. But we went to London, for our first year anniversary, I think that's what it was. And we did, you can do a tour of Wimbledon, like the actual grounds and all the courts.
Beautiful.
And, it was so cool.
It looks so beautiful on TV. It's just a very pretty venue.
It's gorgeous. And there's so many tennis courts. That's what's insane to me. In the beginning of that first week, there's so many matches happening all at once. And we got to go to center court and sit there and see it. And obviously the Royal Box, and everybody knows my love for the Royal family.
There you go.
The patron of the All Lawn England Tennis Club and Croquet Club, whatever it's called. And, so that's so cool. I got to see all of that, and that's so special, but it was really, really cool. And to be able to see that facility was just unbelievable. It's just crazy. It's so
I'd love to go to to one of those top tennis matches and be able to see we came up in the era of the Venus and Serena Williams sisters, and that there was some great McEnroe and all these amazing tennis superstars, and to be able to go and see some of these in person. I get to go to travel with the team to postseason and watch all these amazing tennis matches at the college level.
Cool.
But to be able to see some of these pro matches are just really, like you said, you just get to walk all around and see all these different matches going on at the same time. It's you won't get bored because there's just a lot going on.
Yeah, it would be so cool. Those Grand Slams are unbelievable. So that'd be really, really cool to be able to do that and to witness all of that. So tennis is just such a fun sport. So
I love with collegiate tennis, you're trying to look at one court and you're trying to get another, because you want to see if you're going to get the point there, and you're calculating, okay, if this person wins, you're going to get that. And it's actually a lot of fun to just keep going back and forth. Our home venue is great because you can kind of see everything all at once.
But it's so cool. You have the best, you sit in one spot and you can watch 5 matches at once. It's so
But
cool.
when we travel, sometimes they're a little bit more spread out, and it's just kind of okay,
pick and choose. Yeah,
you're trying to go back and forth and cheer people on and try and make sure that you're getting them set for the next set, and it's awesome. So if you haven't experienced some tennis, you should definitely check it out.
Absolutely. Oh, cool. Love it. Jackie's
great.
We're
gonna have Jackie coming up after these messages.
Are you a loyal 5 Tips and Tricks podcast listener? If not, now is the time to start. Get all your info and fun content on the podcast by following us on all our social channels at @AthCareerPod. The 5 Tips and Tricks podcast is a part of Athletic Career Consulting. Make sure to reach out to us. The one-stop shop for everything is our website, www.athcareer.com. Remember, follow and like us on @AthCareerPod, rate and review us, and get all your info at www.athcareer.com. Okay, everybody, welcome back. Maury, would you like to introduce our guest today?
I'm very excited about this one. So today's guest has built a tennis career that spans continents, competition levels, and coaching roles, grounded in player development and driven by purpose. She began her journey as a standout college athlete competing for the Amherst College, where she helped lead her team to the NCAA tournament appearances, including a national title match in 2014. Her efforts earned her all NESCAC single honors and team MVP recognition before graduating in 2016 with a degree in environmental studies. She then took her game to South America professional tour, training with the Peruvian Fed Cup team, while also launching her coaching career, working with junior players and gaining early experience in international recruiting. Her passion for development took her to Carlwood Country Club and Hillsborough Community College and Camp Playland, where she coached athletes as young as 3 and mentored aspiring college players. Most recently, she spent 2 seasons as a top assistant at Syracuse University in the ACC. There she helped the program to 21 team wins, a top 10 upset, and national peak rankings of 32. Her recruiting earned conference and academic honors, while her influence extended deeply into the international recruiting and team culture. And now in August of 2025, she stepped into her biggest role yet as the head coach of George Washington University women's tennis. Very pleased to welcome Jackie College. Welcome, Jackie.
Hi, Jackie.
Wow, Maury, thank you so much. Jen, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
I'm just so excited. When I heard you got the GW job, I was so pumped for you. Well earned. I think about our time together and our time like traveling or having conversations, and I totally picture you in your role. And I told you I have personal connections with GW. I have family members that went there, and they are so lucky to get you. So I'm thrilled.
Well, thank you so much. And a lot of it has to do with the time that we spent together. So I'm very grateful.
Absolutely.
Very grateful.
Well, we miss you. We miss you at Syracuse, but we're very happy for you. That's
I will
awesome.
say that we miss you, but we're happy for you. That's always the best thing. When you have someone that gets to go on and do great things, you gotta be excited for them. So
absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Well, with that, thank you. I think people want to hear these tips. So start off with your first one.
Okay. So first of all, super excited to be here. Very grateful for the opportunity to give a few tips, and I hope that they can help. So my first one that I'm going to focus on as a coach, really, there are so many things that as a college coach you have to do behind the scenes. But my main thing, the number one goal that I want to give as a coach is to never lose the focus on player or athlete development. We all have to recruit. That's a big part of our job. We're going to spend a lot of time meeting families, meeting prospects, traveling, video analysis, and we have to bring in athletes that we can develop. In every sport, every single sport, really, athletes never arrive. They're always in transit to a better place. And I think that one of the worst things really an athlete can do when they get to college is to think they have arrived and to settle in and stop learning like they used to when they were younger. So I always remind my athletes, we are always in transit to a better place. We have never arrived. So when we are recruiting as college coaches, keep that in mind. Find players who have a growth mindset, who are hungry, and have a system in place. Have a system with how you organize practices, and how are you going to help them? How are they going to be after year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4? Always begin with the end in mind, that they're going to be in a better place after every season.
That's awesome. One of the things that I'm thinking about is your relationship building with players and how you are having these conversations and getting into that growth mindset and developing them to keep going. What happens in those situations where you have a student athlete who thinks that they might know more than they might actually be able to, or you have to kind of say to them hey, you might have learned this earlier on in your career. How do we develop it past that? Because that's sometimes where you have that growth mindset and they think that they're achieving stuff, but like you said, that you need to keep on going. How do you work through that?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think it goes back to what you mentioned, Maury. A huge part of my job really is to build relationships with these athletes. they have to be able to trust you. And it takes time. It takes time to build these relationships. Not only do you have to build trust with them, but you have to show them that you can bring value to their game. That's a huge part of it. If you have the trust, excellent. But also, what value can you bring to them? They have to see that you can add to their game. You can add to their development. So once you've developed that relationship, once they have seen, oh, I respect this coach or this person because they know what they're talking about. This is going to help me. This is already helping my teammates. Now it starts to shift. Their mindset can shift. You can convince them, you can guide them, but it does come from building a relationship with them.
That's awesome. That's great advice.
Yeah, I mean, I think it can be transitional to all leaders, really, coaching and leaders across, whatever sport or industry that you're working in. It's building that trust with your employees, with your assistant coaches, and that just develops even a better of sense of community and wanting to, like, again, build that trust so everybody wants to work together towards that one goal.
Well, I'd also say, like, I like that addition of, like, add value, because a lot of people don't look at it that way.
Correct.
That it's not just about, like, okay, we trust you to do this, but that you feel that this person is helping you achieve. And that's something that people don't always think about, is like, how am I getting into somebody's mindset to say, hey, where am I bringing value to them? And like with employees, like, how are you helping them develop to the next level? With, interns, how are you helping them learn this skill? But with athletes, it's how do you go from a person who's high performing and get them even higher performing? And I find that to be such an interesting role. And the fact that you use relationships to do it, I find incredible. So great tip. See, we're humming along. That was a good one.
Good job.
What do we got for number 2?
Okay. My number 2 tip goes with what we just talked about. Very important as a coach to create a culture within the team. And it's very difficult because everybody comes from different backgrounds. They come from different countries, different learning or teaching methods. They're all different. But you have to create a culture. My foundation with what I can recommend is, number 1, create a culture where the team is first. Nobody is above the team. If an individual comes first above the team, really, there's no way to create a healthy culture. And it comes from what we just talked about, where as a coach, you have to be able to add value to your program, add value to these athletes. To do that, you have to have a system. You have to have an organized plan with how you manage practices, how you teach them to play, how you have them train. So I recommend all coaches, head coaches especially, assistant coaches, you have to learn to develop a culture. And for it to be a healthy culture, what I recommend is setting from day 1, the team comes first, no individual above the team.
No, that's really interesting. And what I was, it's the thing I want to say, and I've been very lucky to work with you, is I've learned a lot from working with the tennis program, especially with working with Syracuse, having a lot of international students, and you having a background in that and working with students that have an international background. They come with their own cultures and their own backgrounds. And I find it incredibly impressive about how you all have been able to take people that might have differences, not in a negative way, but just approach the world differently or look at things differently, and form them into a common bond and find parts of their personalities and their cultures to help them connect to one another. And I've actually thought about that more by learning from the tennis team, not just from internationals, but how you take a group of people. And I think that's really challenging, especially when you're talking about people that have such different backgrounds, that, this is how they do things in their families at home or their families of origin. And it's just very different from one another, but that you can connect them. And so I feel like I've learned so much. And we would sit there and have conversations about what was going on with the team and different people. But what I found it to be so much crossover is that you can really just draw so much out for understanding people And that doesn't matter if they're international or not. And you guys were so good at that. And I just really give you a lot of credit on that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It takes time, but as a coach, you have to know that, number one, you have to know what you're doing. You have to own your craft of teaching, of coaching, transferring information, and you have to own your craft of creating a healthy culture. You really are the leader of the team. So what I would recommend also to do that is you have to show them that you care about them. You have to show them that you really care about them, not just as an athlete, but as they're a person.
Yeah, who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one.
Okay. Number 3.
Yep.
Okay. My third one now spans a little bit into the bigger picture when working in college athletics. When you work in college athletics and say you are a coach of a team, you have a much bigger team. You have a support staff. You have a sport administrator. You have the head of marketing. You have your equipment manager. You have your academic coordinator. You need to develop really strong relationships with these people. And that also includes your strength and conditioning coach. All of these people really are part of your team. They're an extension of your team. So not only are you working on developing strong relationships with your student athletes, but you must get the support of administration. Very important. It cannot be overstated. And when you land in a place where you've developed strong relationships with them and where they trust you, know that that is so valuable, because now a lot of things can be done. A lot of goals can be achieved, because there are so many conversations that happen outside of the tennis court or outside of the field, outside of you working with your student athletes. You need the support of all of these people. And I recommend building strong relationships with them and constant communication with them. They need to know what's happening. That's a huge part of working in college athletics. You need these people and you need their support, and you need to treat them like they are on your team, because they really are. They're part of your team.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it goes back to that relationship building. It's not only within the team, but it's the people that are outside the team that also help support them. And I think that is something, again, we say relationships a lot on this podcast, but it can't be overstated enough that helps you be successful across the board, whether it's on the tennis court, in the classroom, in any sort of promotion that you're doing, revenue, whatever. It's all starts with communication and that relationship building. So I love that. And every time I hear it, I'm just like, it's just another example of how you can be successful, is to build those relationships. I love that.
Thank you,
I love
Jen.
it.
And it goes back. Thank you very much. But I certainly learned that at Syracuse with both of you guys and everybody that I worked with there. I can name so many of them. Every day you communicate with them, with all of these different departments. And I was lucky in Syracuse. We were lucky that, for instance, Maury, you trusted us. That allows so much, that allows coaches to be more creative, to have more freedom with how they're going to work with the team. And as a coach, once you have that support, win or lose, you've got their support. That's huge. That's huge. So I learned that there, and very grateful for it.
And on my side, it was like mutual. It was easy to have trust because there was clear communication. There was just an open relationship to say, here's what's going good, here's what's going bad. Where do we need to help each other? And, on both sides of the aisle, that becomes so easy. And if you build the relationship and, you guys build it quickly, it makes it such a better experience too. Like it can be so much more rewarding for everyone because everybody's succeeding together. You're succeeding up. So that's so great. We're flying. These are great. We're flying through them.
So good.
Awesome.
So good.
Okay.
Right.
Number 4.
Yep.
Okay. Number 4. My tip for college coaches, or in general working in college athletics, is every athlete, every season is a project. The work never ends. you gotta love the work. You gotta love the word project, and you gotta know so many things come from it. Number one, the work never ends. You gotta love it because you have to know when to turn it off for the day because it's always going to be there. Sometimes you're gonna spend more time doing things on the administration side. Other days you're gonna spend more time doing recruiting things, but you're always gonna feel like the work never ends because it really doesn't. It's an ongoing project. Same with athletes with their development. So if you don't love it, you're not going to have a good time.
That's so true. That right there is so true.
I highly recommend you enjoy it. It's so important. It's so important. And it trickles down your everybody that you work with. Like I just talked about with administration, with your student athletes, it's a much better environment if they feel like you enjoy it and they understand. Also, we are all projects. We're all in the process of improving, and it's never going to end, to be honest. So for those entering college athletics in any role, think of it as a project.
Yeah.
The work continues.
With looking at it as a project, do you have any like tips of like project management that you have for each of the athletes, like how you organize it to like keep, the project on task and to have your kind of goal set to like make them, they're like kind of ways in which you look at it to frame it to keep those projects. Like I'm in project management a lot. So I think about, okay, I got to do my timeline or I got to do my, do my outline of the way things need to work. Like, how do you approach that with each of your projects for your students?
Great question, Maury. Well, I have a strong belief that you got to treat everybody fairly, but you also treat them differently because they're also different.
Right.
So you have to be able to communicate with them in a way that works well for them, that they can receive that information, and at the same time, educating them, keeping them on track with what they're doing well, what needs to improve. And to do that, you need to be sharp. That's why I said earlier, you got to own your craft because you need to know specifically for every athlete, what are these projects that we're working on with them? Right. And they got to know it. And they have to be able to also take in information and take in constructive criticism. That's why you got to recruit players who have a growth mindset, who you can develop. So, yeah.
No, that's awesome. Each project's different. You got to keep track of it. You got to make sure you're communicating to it, and you got to make sure that you're growing with it. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I like that you said, because I think people need a reminder too that sometimes everybody thinks working in sports is so glamorous, and it is. It's great, it's wonderful, but it is a lot of work, and the work never ends. And it's, it's not a typical 9 to 5. It's not punch the clock and you're done at 5 o'clock and you're done. Like, it's nights, it's weekends, it's long hours, it's travel. So, I think from a coaching side, it's a lot. And from an administrative side, it's a lot. And the reminder of that too, I think people need sometimes, because they just see all the glamorous side of it, like standing on the sidelines and all that kind of stuff. And there's hours and hours of work that go into that to be able to do that. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Good.
Okay. We got the last one, Jen. Throw that out there.
Yes. All right. So, Jackie, what do you know now that you wish you knew then? So what do you know now at this point in your career that you wish you knew when you first started?
Okay. Great question. So for this one, I decided to go with something I learned recently that was told to me by my new sport administrator here at George Washington University. He told me from day one, as a new head coach, you got to learn that you have to advocate for your own team. Because if you don't do it, nobody will.
So true.
I learned that. I'm so happy for that lesson. It's not something that naturally comes natural to me to ask for things. Certainly, there are always things that you want, but how you communicate that, how you are able to say this makes sense and this is why we need this. It's a huge skill to have and very important when you work for a team in college. You got to be able to advocate for your team. It's something that I have learned I've had to learn on the spot, and it's been very helpful, and I use it essentially like every day working in college athletics. So it's a skill that I am gaining and that I know I'm going to get really good at because I am doing it all the time now.
That's great. That's so good.
You have to be the number one cheerleader for your program, and you got to ask those questions, because if you don't ask, no one else is going to. And it's 100% true. Like, sometimes you think, okay, well, everybody has the vision for the program, but really, as the head of that program, you're the one that, it rests on your shoulders. So that's a great advice, because, it can be a thought of like, okay, this is just plug and play. It is not, it's anything but plug and play.
Yeah, no. Every year is different. Every situation is different.
And every resource you need can change. Just because one year you had something that you needed, the next year it could be something new. Sports evolve. Students are different. I mean, the group that brought in might need a different support system or a different way of looking at it than that group before. So no, it's great advice.
Thank you very much. And I'll lastly add to whether the outcome of you asking or advocating works out or not, do it either way.
Yeah.
It helps. It helps. And even if it doesn't go your way, still be grateful for what has.
Yeah.
And expect it to not go your way sometimes. But it's just like we've talked about, it's a muscle. It's a muscle that you'll continue to improve doing, and long term it helps you and it helps your program.
Yeah. I never feel any negative feelings towards a head coach that's asking for something. I sometimes you can't give it to them, but I'll tell you, as a sport administrator, I think about that. I'm trying towards it. I might not be able to answer it right away and say, hey, this is something we can do, but I have it in the back of my head when decisions are being made or when we're in a room having discussions about resourcing. And I know, oh, my coach has said this, and I'm going to try and put that out there to the group. And it can change sometimes how decisions are made in the room when you're talking about allocations and stuff. So I think it's incredibly important. You have to ask, you have to be out there for your program.
You do. And Maury, I give you so much credit. You were so great at that at Syracuse. Because I feel like, especially for young coaches, you can feel like you are bothering or being an imposition. Really, from what I have seen from you and from here at GW, they want to hear, your sport administrator wants to hear, what do you need?
Absolutely. Right.
So come with that list and communicate it well.
Yeah.
That's super important. You got
I mean,
to communicate it well.
That's what's really helpful, because if you're just like, oh, I just need this, and it's not clear, that can be like the hardest part, because you're like, okay, I really want to help, but I don't know how to help. So, when someone comes in and this isn't just tennis, even when across other sports that, work with, like, here's an example, or here's what we're looking for, and it can be so clear. It can really help. Or again, like I said, if I have the details of it as an administrator, and the request or, the discussion really leads to something that really is helpful in the room. Like it's like, okay, I got this in my back pocket to talk about with the AD or with the senior administration, because my coach gave me so much context to it and really made me understand it. So no, it's such a great tip that I think is so, maybe misunderstood from both sides. And I appreciate that you said that you were really open to come see me. And then I'm because that's what I really want. I really appreciate having those dialogues. So to know that was happening is even better. So.
Absolutely. Awesome. So good.
Well, Jackie, you crushed this. It was great. I know people are going to love it. And I will be following SU tennis for sure, but now I also will be checking some other scores to see how GW is doing, and looking at a different conference out there. So I'll be rooting for you too.
Thank you guys so much. I so appreciate it. It's been so nice to reconnect, and thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you for doing this. Yes, and everybody make sure you're following us on all our socials at Ath Career Pod, and new episodes drop every Tuesday. So make sure you're liking and following us on all your podcast platforms, rating, reviewing, all the things. Just share it with everybody that you know. But we appreciate it. And Jackie, thank you so much, and congrats. We're so excited for you.
Thank you very much, you guys. Really appreciate it.
All right.
Bye, everyone. Jackie, that was awesome.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Oh no, you did such a good job. I thought you did incredible.
I hope so.
You did an incredible job.
They were going to be concise.
They were perfect. No, I wouldn't even call them concise. I would say they're very clear.
Maury, are you still recording? Are we still recording?
It said something went wrong. Your page is trying again to.
Because it's still it's still counting.
Yeah, that's weird. I stopped it.
No, it's still going. It's okay though. It's fine. It doesn't matter. But
I can edit.
You can edit it all out, but it's still going. But
I hit stop.
Yeah, I didn't get that little you know how when you usually click it and it comes up like, oh, this was done, the recording.
Perfect. Your upload completed, Jackie. You're good. It's mine that seems to be the issue today. If you like the 5 Tips and Tricks podcast, make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. You can rate and review us, including questions that may be answered on future episodes. The 5 Tips and Tricks podcast for careers in athletics is part of Athletic Career Consulting. Check us out at www.athcareer.com. Don't forget to follow and like us on your top social media platforms.